If you feel like you're struggling from relationship burnout, you are not alone. Usually, relationship burnout is caused by what people, what partners are bringing into the relationship, rather than the relationship between the two people. And this is really frightening because many couples break up if they're not married or go on to divorce or betray their partner when they blame their relationship for burning them out. Their partner becomes more demanding, more clinging, more, critical. And what I want you guys to understand right now is that's not inherent necessarily within the two of you as a couple. The two of you as a couple might still be great, but because you're not managing the stress, the overwhelmingness, the attention to everything else, the distractions of the world, you're bringing that angst into your relationship. And you're not dealing with it there either. You're gifting it to your partner. And when you gift your anxiety, stress, just criticism and feeling angry, when you gift that to your partner, do you know what your partner gives you back as a gift? They give you the same thing. And before you know it, you're at each other's heads, just fighting all the time. And this leads a lot of people into my sessions. They need help with handling conflict. But what they need help with more than their couple conflict is learning how to manage, how to regulate on their own. I'm going to go through a list of what partners do that burns out their relationship. So if you see yourself in this, then you'll know it's time for you to step back and get help managing your own stress, your own resolved issues from the past, so you no longer continue to destroy the relationship you have with your partner. The first thing is unresolved conflicts. If there is old stuff that you have not worked out, not even necessarily in this relationship, but with your parents, with a sibling, with a friend, this is a time for you to take note of it and start working on it. Start making a peace with all the unresolved people in your life. Because believe it or not, when you get overwhelmed with stress in any other areas, this is what comes back and this is what you try to lay on your partner. Secondly, resorting to the silent treatment. The silent treatment is the worst form of passive-aggressive anger because you basically punish your partner with it. It's also not surprising that it's emotionally abusive. If you give your partner the silent treatment, they could accuse you of emotional abuse and they could end the relationship on those terms. If you guys don't know how to fight together, if you don't know how to step up and use your words, it's high time you get to counseling so you can learn to feel your anger, talk about your anger, and personally deal with it instead of laying it on your partner's lap. Next, a lack of affection. When you're so tired and so exhausted that you no longer can look at your partner and give them affection, that's a problem. Nobody likes to ask for affection, and when they do, the hardest thing for them to deal with is being rejected. If you're too tired to get intimate or show them affection, then give them an alternative that still will help the two of you communicate, feel close, feel supported, but maybe less energy for you that you have to put out. When you give your partner an option, you open up the door for them trusting you and being vulnerable with what they're feeling. If you ignore your partner's needs, if your partner constantly feels like you're the last person who would help them up or that they could talk to about what they need right now for a hug or a kiss or just having your affection, having you near them, that's really sad. And usually it is not because of your partner. It's because you have stress you haven't dealt with. And when your partner asks for one little thing, you get triggered. And you may even resort to calling them a child, or you're like my next child, or I feel like your mother or your father. And that hurts them even more. Another thing a lot of couples do is overly criticize. When you are critical of your partner, you know right away that's a terrible, vicious cycle pattern to get in. People respond to being encouraged with praise, compliments, telling them what you appreciate about them. Sometimes just a mere you saying, I'm so overwhelmed with work, I realized I was critical about you, I'm really sorry. Can we just have coffee today so that I can just, sit down with you and tell you all the things I'm grateful for, or write them a letter. If it's too much, just write them a letter and say, listen, I appreciate you. I don't mean to take it out on you. Your partner will go further if they know where you're at. They will forgive you. They're usually the first to forgive, but not if they're left out in the dark of what's going on with you. If you have unrealistic expectations, you compare them to others' friends, husbands or wives. Yeah, that's a blame game, and it's not mature, and it's not okay, and it leads to burnout. Or just having too much negativity. You see what's going on in the world, take a very pessimistic attitude, like you're Mr. Grumpy Cat or Mrs. Grumpy Cat. Nobody wants to be around that. And guess what? Your partner doesn't either. They love you, but they don't want to be around that because it gets old. And when you only are seeing one perspective and that perspective is negative, you need to do a mind change. You need to get a different perspective. So take care of you. What can you do to change that? When you become totally self-obsessed with how you look or what you wear or what they're wearing, these things don't matter. And when they become so important that they do matter to you, it's usually because there's a void in another area of the relationship. It means your partner is starting to feel like the only reason you're with them is because they provide a look or they provide an accessory for you. That's not being with someone because they're a priority. That's being with someone because it makes it better for you, and nobody wants to be in that situation. The other thing a lot of couples do that really makes them feel, the other partner feel burned out, and it's just a symbol of what you're bringing into the relationship, is when you violate boundaries. Your partner tells you, listen, I just need 2 hours tonight to get this done. And during that time, you mope around or you criticize them or you try to make them feel guilty for having that space of an hour or two. That's emotionally immature. And it's bringing home whatever you're not resolving in your own life and dumping it on your partner. So what do I say is more important? I say you need to get mindful. You need to get aware of all these and see which of these you identify. Talk to your partner if you don't know. Ask them, am I bringing any of these into the relationship? And secondly, get okay with yourself. Where are you angry? Where do you hold your pain? Where are your triggers in your body? Usually they're connected to something outside the relationship, an important relationship you had with a past caregiver, a past love, a past parent, someone you didn't resolve it. And so you brought it into this relationship to act it out on your partner. I guess we all do that to a minimal amount, but at least warn your partner that, listen, I have self-awareness and I know what I'm doing and I'm going to make changes. Or ask them for help. Ask them for help how they can help you make changes. They might have some really good ideas. And lastly, give yourself a break. Once you admit what's going on, give yourself a break. Are you trying to be too perfect? Are you trying to be something for others who don't matter on social media? Are you trying to have the right look, the right clothes, the right house, the right life so you'll be affected? Yeah, that's an inside job. You need to get clear about that. Get help professionally. If you think it will help your relationship, do what you need to do. If it's a relationship you're just passing through, then let them go and deal with your issues before you mess up their mind anymore or give them an idea that it was something they did when truly it was something you brought in hoping they would solve. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.